All right, team. Hey, everyone. Today, we are going to build the definitive playbook for pitching the Business Partner Boot Camp. The goal here is simple: to give you a clear, repeatable story that turns your prospects' pain points into closed deals. So let's just dive right in.
So you're on a call with the senior leader, right? And you start hearing that same old story, a story of frustration with their HR team. It's a story you've probably heard a dozen times before. But today, we're going to learn how to turn that frustration into a massive opportunity. And then you hear this, right here. This is the money quote. It's the sound of a leader who knows they have a problem and is practically begging for a solution. This is that before state, an HR team that's full of potential, but they're just stuck in tactical mode, lacking the strategic muscle to really move the needle. And that gap? That's exactly where you come in. Okay, so how do you actually spot this gap out in the wild? Well, I'm going to give you a diagnostic toolkit. Think of these as the 4 key symptoms that scream, this prospect is a perfect fit for our bootcamp. First up is what I call the reactive trap. You'll hear that their HR team is just constantly putting out fires, totally buried under administrative work, and just trying to keep their heads above water. They're stuck reacting to the business instead of driving it forward. So when you're on a call, your ears should perk up when you hear those keywords: reactive, transactional, operational, or the big one, they're just keeping the lights on. These are massive buying signals that tell you this bootcamp is the perfect solution for them. The second symptom, and this one's a biggie, is the language barrier. You can almost see the disconnect. You've got HR over here, focused on people and process, while all the business leaders are over there, focused on financials, KPIs, and strategic goals. It's like they're speaking 2 totally different languages. This usually shows up when you hear that HR can't quite make heads or tails of a P&L statement, or that their big initiatives feel completely disconnected from revenue, or maybe the leaders just don't see them as true strategic players at the table. The bottom line is, they're just not speaking the same language. Symptom number 3 is the gut feeling problem. This is when those critical people decisions, like who gets hired, who gets promoted, which programs get funded, are all being made based on intuition, kind of like that chaotic scribble you see there, instead of on hard, structured data. And this is the transformation we provide. We help them move from that messy, gut feel approach to becoming this, a true data-driven partner. We're talking about someone who can build a business case, diagnose real issues, and influence leaders with compelling evidence, not just, an opinion. And the final symptom to listen for is a siloed or inconsistent HR team. This is super common in decentralized companies, right? You've got different HR partners working in different business units, but they have no common skill set or shared strategic language. And that inconsistency, it absolutely kills their credibility. Our bootcamp fixes that. We establish that common skill set and shared language, creating a unified, effective, and truly strategic force for the entire business. Okay, so you've diagnosed the pain. Now for the fun part. It's time to paint a really vivid picture of the solution, the after state. This is where you show them what their HR team is truly capable of becoming. Let's take a look at what that transformed partner actually does. Think about this. After the boot camp, their HR partners are totally transformed. They can speak the language of business and finance, no problem. They use data to drive every single decision. They start operating like internal consultants, diagnosing the root problems. And they even leverage new tools like Gen AI to automate all that low-value work so they can finally focus on high-impact strategy. The shift is just profound. They move from these unstructured ideas and, guesswork, to a clear, repeatable framework that connects every single people initiative directly to a measurable business outcome. Pay close attention to this slide, because this right here is your knockout punch. On the left, you've got the before state, a blank canvas. Basically good intentions without any structure. But on the right, you have the after, a completed framework that shows a direct, undeniable line from a people initiative, like leadership training, all the way to a hard business KPI, like a 10% increase in revenue. This is the slide that makes a leader sit up and really listen. So at this point, the prospect is probably thinking, okay, that sounds incredible, but how do you actually do it? This next section is the bridge. It's the proof behind the promise, showing exactly how we deliver this amazing transformation. We do it through a pretty intensive 6-month blended learning journey. And let's be clear, this isn't just a library of videos they'll never watch. It's a powerful combination of self-paced learning, so they can master the fundamentals on their own time, and live, expert-led workshops where the real magic happens, where they apply that knowledge to their own business problems.
Our secret sauce is this really simple but incredibly powerful tell, show, do, apply methodology. We tell them the core concepts in the e-learning. We show them how it all works in live workshops with experts. They actually do the work themselves in collaborative projects. And finally, they apply it all to a real challenge from their own business in their final capstone.
And we measure success where it matters most. Most training programs stop at measuring learning. We measure our success at the highest possible level, results. The capstone project isn't some theoretical exercise. It's designed to solve a current business problem and deliver tangible, measurable impact. That's the difference.
All right, let's bring it all home. You've diagnosed the pain, you've pitched the incredible outcome, and you've shown them the journey. Now you just need a powerful, memorable analogy to close the conversation and make it stick.
And here it is. You tell them this. Look, most HR training is like giving your team a map and just hoping they find their way. The BPCP Boot Camp, well, that's about learning how to pilot the ship. We give them the classroom theory, the guided simulations in our workshops, and then we stay right there on the bridge with them for their first real voyage, that capstone project, to make absolutely sure they reach their destination, measurable business results.
And that's how you leave it. After you've laid this all out, you just ask them one simple, powerful question. So, are you looking for another map? Or are you ready to build a team of pilots? Thank you.